So the Buena Vida Arts and Cultural Park is a corridor between 6th and 7th Street from Ringgold to the Expressway. And this was known for many years because it had the Quonset hut, Jackson Feed and Seed, a big warehouse that they sold used appliances out of. And there wasn't a lot going on as far as arts and culture in the area, but it was ripe for development because it was the gateway to the Midi Cultural District. RJ wanted to do something to honor his grandparents, and so this being the gateway and right behind the Midi Arch, he decided this would be the perfect place to create a park for the public. In looking at the area, he realized that the poorer area of the community, which was the Buena Vida neighborhood, felt disconnected from much of what was going on as far as art and culture, the museums and the parks, and he wanted to bridge that gap. He wanted to create something that would make the public feel welcome and invited, and that's why it's being named the Buena Vida Arts and Cultural Park. It'll consist of art, water features, several trails, covered areas for vendors and artisans, a stage for performances, a meadow for performances, and eventually we're hoping the big warehouse will become an extension of the Children's Museum focused on our science and math. For Brownsville as a whole, it is a destination, not just for tourists, but for our locals as well. It's many of the entities that you already patronized for many, many years, from the Children's Museum to the parks to Gladys Porter Zoo. But now there's so much happening in downtown Brownsville with the restaurants, with Market Square being revitalized and being brought up by the Brownsville Historical Association. There are so many more events than used to be happening in Brownsville. Before the Midi Cultural District expansion, that's where the Buena Vida Arts and Cultural Park idea started. Since the expansion, there is now a greater focus on the heart of downtown. And so as we could wrap up the Buena Vida Arts and Cultural Park, the Midi Foundation is already looking more into the heart of downtown for our next big project. And we're looking for something that will absolutely be a draw for the local community, a plus for those who live downtown, and hopefully create new revenue streams for the Midi Cultural District as well. Ultimately, our goal is that we leave something behind at no cost to the taxpayers, which is not just a great attraction, but is also generating revenues to be self-sustaining so that it can continue to be successful for years to come. And ultimately, that needs to be our goal, is creating more sales tax revenue through tourism and through local consumption so that we reduce our dependency on property taxes. And the Midi Cultural District is one of the key ways to do that.